Half Night Stand, written by the Pencil Whisperer. Prince had always been told he was handsome. From his teenage years, girls chased him, slipped him notes, and whispered about him in school corridors. They called him TDH, tall, dark, and handsome. He never quite saw himself that way, but the constant attention seeped into his head until he began to believe it. At 13, his first encounter came not with a peer, but with a college woman 10 years older than him. She seduced him, drove him to a lodge, and took what he didn't even know he was ready to give. He didn't think of it as defilement. To him, it was initiation. From that day on, he found himself entangled in women's arms, convincing himself it wasn't his fault. He never chased them. They chased him. When Prince discovered music, life seemed to balance out. With his friend Mike, he joined a band that played at weddings, churches, and hotel lounges. His parents doubted the choice at first, but came around when they saw he could stand on his own. The band flourished, and Prince's life took on a rhythm that felt promising. He fell in love with a choir lead singer during a church event. She was beautiful, gentle, and steady in ways he was not. By the end of the year, they were married. A year later, they had triplets, 1 boy and 2 girls. Prince's life looked perfect from the outside. Music, family, success. But his old appetites never left him. Then came Petronella. The band was hired for an international event in Lusaka, the biggest gig of their career. As they set up at the hotel, Prince's eyes met hers across the dinner tables. Her smile was bold, confident, and disarming. They exchanged glances all evening until she followed them into the lounge where the band played. By the end of the night, she introduced herself, and before long, Prince was living with her. "Prince, what are you doing?" Mike pulled him aside. "You are a married man. Don't do this." "I know what I'm doing," Prince snapped. "Stay out of it." That night, in a dimly lit lodge room, Petronella gave him the most intoxicating experience he had ever known. It was supposed to be a one-night stand, but laying in her arms afterward, Prince thought, a woman this good is worth keeping around. He fell asleep, warm and sated. When he stirred hours later, her body beside him was cold. At first, he thought it was a chill of the night. He tried to cover her, but when he touched her skin, it was icy, lifeless. Panic struck. He shook her again and again. Nothing. He pressed his ear to her chest. Silence. Prince stumbled across the room, clutching his head. Was she dead? God, what will I tell my wife? Should I run? He thought. He called Mike. No answer. Called again. Still nothing. He called Joel, his other band member. Soon, the other band members except Tate arrived. They found Prince crumbled on the floor, sobbing into his hands. On the bed lay Petronella, naked and still. The room fell silent. David put the sheet over her like a shroud. "What happened, Prince?" "I don't know," he whispered. "I didn't kill her." The group argued. Call the police or not. Prince begged them not to. He feared the scandal more than prison. "Think of my wife, my children," he pleaded. But Mike stood firm. "We can't hide a body. This is bigger than us." When the police arrived, word spread through the hotel like wildfire. Guests whispered in the reception, phones recorded. By morning, social media was ablaze. The once celebrated band was branded immoral, violent, predatory. Lobby groups demanded justice. Prince was charged with murder. The trial dragged on for years, adjourned over and over until money ran out. Lawyers pulled away, unwilling to stain their reputations. The band crumbled, each member scraping together what they could to feed Prince's wife and children. Behind bars, Prince's world collapsed. His wife grew thin and withdrawn. She had always suspected his infidelity, but now the betrayal was public, humiliating. Visiting him through glass, she confessed to Mike. I know he didn't kill her, but maybe jail is what he deserves for all the pain he has caused. 3 years later, Tate revealed he had secretly intervened with the hotel surveillance footage, deleting the part that showed the band entering the room. He claimed it was to protect them all, but the gesture left a bitter taste and corrupted evidence. By then, the damage was done. Prince was eventually released, but freedom was not the same as redemption. His wife divorced him, taking the children. Wherever he went, whispers followed, strangers pointed. That's the murderer. Even innocence could not erase the stain. He once thought his looks were a blessing, that his charm was a gift, but standing alone, shunned, and stripped of everything, Prince finally understood the curse. One night of pleasure had cost him his family, his freedom, his name. He thought it was a half-night stand. It became his life sentence.